GLM5 just came out, and it's moving from vibe coding to agentic engineering. This model has double the amount of parameters, but the active parameters are about 20% more. Pre-training data also grew from 23 trillion tokens to 28.5 trillion. It's right now available through a subscription, through Open Router, or if you are capable of running it locally, you could get its weights. Let's begin with benchmarks, and we're going to move into practical examples in just a little bit. So here we can see GLM 4.7, the previous iteration, and here we can see GLM 5 compared to Opus 4.5, Gemini 3 Pro, and GPT 5 to 5.2 extra high. As we can see here with tools, it's doing 50% on humanity's last exam, noticeably better than the competition. In terms of software engineering benchmark verified, it's improving massively, still lags behind the current frontier, but again, this is open weights technology, which is very, very important. In terms of the multilingual software engineering bench, it's also very, very good, which is amazing to see. Terminal bench also has a huge jump in performance, similar with browse competition being the leading model. MCP Atlas, again, frontier intelligence. Agentic T-Square bench matches the best models. And finally, on the vending bench, it was able to accumulate quite a lot of funds. Also, when it is compared for front-end, back-end, and long horizon tasks, it performs comparably to Opus 4.5. It also did a massive improvement over its predecessor, which is amazing to see. And the biggest part about this is that the model is quite cheap. This is the official pricing, and we see GLM5 costing $1 per million token input and $3.2 per million token output. This is about 8 times less than Opus 4.5. And they also brought GLM5 Code, which is a specialized version of this model for coding tasks. We don't know the benchmarks for this, but seems quite cheap and quite amazing. Finally, it's a little more costly than its predecessor 4.7, but that's to be expected as it is 2 times bigger with a lot more active parameters. In terms of Open Router, we're able to see multiple providers hosting it. Sadly, the token throughput is very, very low across all of them. It's really a very slow model to use, which is a very big negative. Hopefully in the near future more providers will come and they will improve the throughput, but right now this doesn't seem possible. So guys, they've got a coding plan which you can get. You can pay either monthly or quarterly, and in all honesty this is probably one of the best subscriptions to get if you're on a budget. Literally you get so much usage compared to other plans, like for example Claude Pro, which costs 2 times more. And I think this is very important. It's also integrated with a lot of different IDEs and software, and you should absolutely take a look at this. It seems amazing. Even this Pro offer that gives you 5x usage over the Lite version seems very, very beneficial, and it's also a lot faster. So you pay a little more, but you get so much more usage. It's also a lot faster, so that looks incredibly great. Finally, we can test it out inside their chat. So I think this is probably the best thing we can try out today, like test it out inside their UI interface. So we're going to begin by making a simple Pokemon Pokédex. We're also going to create a lot more things, and if time allows, I will try it out on a personal task, which is Roblox game development. So let's begin with the first prompt. I'm going to give it into the agent mode. I'm going to select full stack here, so it's going to be able to show us a preview of what it created. Let's send the message and let's see the result. So we got the result, and this looks pretty amazing. Like, look here, we see animations, we see stats. I really like it. Like, it looks good. The UI looks nice. I would say I don't like these lines, but if you check here, when you hover over a Pokemon, the cards get zoomed in, the Pokemon gets zoomed in, and we see a number up here. Looks nice. The sorting also looks great. So in general, this is one of the best results for this specific prompt I have ever seen, and this is incredibly great. So let's move to the next prompt. Again, we're going to go with agent mode. I'm going to select full stack. We're going to create a website that is teaching transformer models to people. So this is one of my favorite prompts because it really shows how good these models have in terms of understanding and explaining stuff. And also you you can, understand their front-end creativity by seeing the interactive visualizations that they can potentially try and make. So let's see the result of this prompt. All right, so let's check it out. Transformer models. This, first of all, first look, this is the best thing I ever seen from a model, straight up. So let's click start learning and it doesn't work. The buttons don't work. But if we scroll, we see beautiful animations. We begin with the architecture, loads of animations here. That looks nice. Then we have the transformer architecture, and let's play the animation, and it actually works. So it shows, like, for example, the flow of information. Nothing super amazing, but I like the design. Here we can see the visualization of the attention map, and as you click on buttons, this should change. We can see a preview of the matrix. Not super amazing, to be honest with you, my friends, but okay, I get it. Doesn't look bad. Maybe it's not conveying the information it should, but at least the design is good. Here we can see code, and that looks nice. I really like this, Mac OS style of window with the code. It looks super clean. And this is like the FAQ and some extra resources that you can click on, and it points to nowhere. So in general, I would say this doesn't look half bad. I would say I really like the design. However, it's quite obvious that the model is lacking deep understanding of the task. That's what at least I would say. But in terms of design, in terms of what it created, it's obviously in the frontier of front-end design. Obviously, like, it's not even conversation. So I would say that this is an incredibly great result, maybe the best result you would get with such a cheap model. Let's move on to the next example. We're going to just simply create a Flappy Bird game. And of course, in this channel, we're really just using the coding stack for everything. You can, of course, create a lot more things. You could write stuff, you could create presentations. This is not what we're interested in this channel, so I'm not going to be covering that. You could go ahead and watch what other people have done right here on YouTube. So let's see the result. Okay, so here is the Flappy Bird game. I don't expect this to be playable at all. Usually these kind of models make the game super hard, but I love the UI and the animations. So yeah, we instantly die, but I like the menu. So what I would say right now is probably I would ask it to make the game easier to play. Kind of interesting how it still is coding, which I didn't expect. So yeah, maybe I was a little bit too fast just because I've seen the preview. So I'm just going to let it rest and, let it finish the job. Okay, so let's test it out. Instantly dies even though it finished the project, or maybe didn't. It's actually completely stuck. The agent is completely stuck. So I would say that this is kind of a failure, but this is to be expected as no model right now is able to make a working Flappy Bird game that is not literally crashing instantly. Final one is creating a GTA 5-like game with 3JS. I don't think this is going to be possible, but it's always worth a try. So let's send this message and let's see what the agent can make for us. One of the issues we will probably find out is that we cannot preview 3JS on the machine that is spin up by Z.AI, but let's jump to the result and see what happened. So the game is ready, and because everything was lacking on my system, I asked GLM to deploy it on a web page so we can test it out in the form of a website. It's probably going to be fucking insane. It's going to be very, very hard to run. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see what they spin up. But this is pretty much the UI. It's actually unplayable right now. So yeah, you see everything is lagging on my browser. Not the easiest game to play, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, so I'm actually giving up. It's breaking my system, but I actually seen a small preview of what it created. Didn't look bad. At least it has menus and UIs. So my verdict is that this model is actually super, super capable. And if you are, looking for some cheap subscription, some cheap model to use with API, but you don't care about speed, these guys might actually be. Test it out and let me know your opinion down below in the comments.